Hi guys, Sharon here. I just want to explain to you how to use the CPTD-IS portal on the SACE website. Remember, we are supposed to be engaged in professional development activities as teachers, and we need to record and report all those professional development activities that we do on the SACE website under a special portal called the CPTD-IS. Now, just a quick overview of the CPTD that we must do. Remember, we must engage in 3 types of activities. The first type of activities is called type 1, and those are all the activities that you initiate on your own. So you decide to go to workshops, you decide to go to conferences, you do your own reading, you watch your own videos, whatever professional development activities you engage in and that you initiate yourself will fall under that type 1 category. Then we have another type of activity that we must engage in, and those are school initiated activities. All the type 2 activities will be arranged by your school. So that will include the staff meetings that you have, the grade meetings, department meetings, all the different meetings that you have. And the school may invite speakers or presenters to run certain workshops or training sessions with you. Now, all those activities that are organized by the school, those activities fall under the category type 2. And then the third type of activity that we have is type 3, and those are the activities, the professional activities that are conducted by external training providers, and that will also include all the workshops and training sessions run by the district offices as well. Okay, so you have those 3 types of activities. The type 1 activities, the ones that you initiate on your own, are the ones that you have to upload on the CPTD-IS portal. And then all the activities that your school organizes will have to be uploaded by the school. So whoever was assigned that responsibility will have to ensure that those activities are uploaded on the CPTD-IS portal, and your name should be linked to those activities. Okay, so if, for example, you have a staff meeting, then the designated person will have to log that staff meeting and then tick off all the names of the staff members who attended the staff meeting, and then that particular meeting will be recorded against your name. The very same applies to the type 3 activities. If there's an external service provider, and that includes the district officials, if we run training workshops or conferences or whatever, then we will have an attendance register there, right? So we will then have to ensure that we log that professional development activity against your name. So the district officials will, for example, submit all those attendance registers, and then our component, which is the people management component, will then ensure that SACE receives that, and SACE will ensure that all those activities are logged against your name. So at the end of the day, you just have to ensure that you log all your type 1 activities. Just another point I need to mention to you is that, remember, our CPTD cycle is a 3-year cycle, and you have to collect 150 points over the 3-year period. And most of those points will have to come from the type 1 activity. So you need to ensure that you do all 3 types of activities. You need to cover all 3 categories, type 1, type 2, type 3, but the majority of the points come from the type 1 activity. And then of course you have a point schedule, so you'll be able to see exactly what the point value is of a particular professional activity that you do. You'll find that point schedule on the SACE website, which we will navigate in a few minutes time. Or if you're here in the Metro South Education District, we have an online people management folder, and there's a CPTD folder. So you find the point schedule in that folder, the one that is currently on the SACE website. And then of course we also have a more modernized CPTD point schedule that one of our principals designed. So that is also on the online folder. Okay, so you can see how many points you get for particular activities. But essentially, all professional activities from meetings to training sessions, reading, watching videos, all those professional activities you can log and you will be awarded points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to walk you through the CPTD-IS Portal, which we find on the SACE website. So I'm going to try to do that on my computer, and then you can see how you need to navigate it. But you'll see it's very easy. It's it's self-explanatory, and there will be prompts for you. But we'll do it together so that you can start reporting and recording those points, because we are all compelled to ensure that we log those professional development points. Okay? If you don't, then you are being non-compliant, and at some point SACE may take action, because it is in our job description and it is in the Educators Act that we are compelled to engage in professional development activities, because we must upskill ourselves. We must try to become the best teacher for our children. Right, so we're ready to dive in. So give me a minute, and then I'm going to go to Google so that Google can take me to the SACE website. Okay, let's dive straight into the CPTD. Let's go to Google, and then when you get to your Google browser, you type in sace.org.za, enter, and that should take us to the SACE website. Okay, there you can see the SACE website. That's the landing page. And if you look at the menu bar here, you'll see you have home, about us, departments, programs, and then of course CPTD-IS, and that is where you want to be. So click on that tab, and then it brings you to the landing page of the CPTD. You'll see we have home, log a query, documents, EA catalog, sign up and log in. Let me just run through this quickly. If you have a query that you want to send SACE, you may send the query via this form here, and SACE will then respond. If we go to the next tab, you can see the next tab says you can download all the CPTD documents. So if we just go into that tab there, then you'll see all this documentation here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 documents that you can download. Okay, so there you have the point schedule that we referred to, and then of course your professional development portfolio. If you want to use that as a manual copy, you want to capture your points, and you want to first record that manually and then upload later onto the CPTD-IS site, you may use that. There's a professional development attendance register, and that is normally used by your school or the external service providers. And then of course you can go through everything else that is here. Okay, then you also have the CPTD manual, so you may refer to that manual and go and see if you need more detail about the whole process, why, a bit of background about the CPTD and the role of SACE. Then you may go to that manual. Right, and then the EA catalog, that is the endorsed activities catalog. So if you go into that tab, then you'll see that you'll get a list of all the online courses that you can do, because those courses are also, some of them are free, so you can do those online courses, and other courses are paid courses. But here on the SACE website, you have all this information. Okay, let me just go back quickly, and then of course if you go to the far right, you'll see there's a sign up button. Now if you are a newly qualified teacher, then you may have to sign up first onto the CPTD-IS portal, right? So you'll click on this button and then you'll just complete all your personal details, and yes, then Bob's your uncle. Just don't confuse the sign up with registration, right? We all have to be registered with SACE because you cannot teach in South Africa if you are not registered with the South African Council of Educators. The sign up here refers to you signing up on the CPTD-IS website. And then if you are signed up, and many of us should be signed up because the teachers who are currently in the system had training on how to, how to sign up on the CPTD-IS website. So everybody should be signed up. What you need to do is you have to go to the login button and then just log in. Okay, here you come to this screen and you give your username, which is usually your SACE number, and then you just add your password and then you say login. Right? It's that simple. If however you forgot your login details, then you must say forgot password, right? And then you'll have to indicate here by type, you'll have to choose and indicate whether you are an educator at the school, whether you are representing the school because you are the CPTD coordinator, or whether you are an external service provider or an evaluator. So in your case, you'll probably choose educator and then indicate your username, which will be your SACE a number, and then you put your cell phone number there and then you will submit. Okay, now if let me just go back quickly, cancel that. Let's say, do you really want to cancel? Yes, we really want to cancel. Let's say you want to put in your username, and your username will be your SACE number. So let's just choose a SACE number and we put password here. And then your password is usually your surname. If you didn't change any details, and then you say log in, and then of course if your details are incorrect, then you'll have to do the process that I just mentioned now about saying you forgot the password and then you have to relog. Just bear in mind that if you attempt to log in with the wrong details and you do that thrice, then you are going to be blocked. Okay, so when you see you don't have the details, rather go to the forgot password instruction here and then send a query to SACE. Okay, so let me just put in my username and then my password so that I can just take you to the next page. Log in and then I get to the next screen. Right now, once you're here at this page, you can see all these different tabs here on this menu bar. So if you go to the educator one, all you have to do is just click on the tab and then you'll get a drop down menu and then you just follow the prompts. But I'm just going to walk you through that quickly. So if you're an educator and you want to update your personal details, then you see that you fill in all your details. If you need to give your qualifications, then you have to add your qualifications here, right? So add obtain qualifications. And then you'll notice that when you get to category of qualifications, you must select either continuing professional development or your initial teacher education qualification. Now, if you didn't, complete this information, then you'll probably have to click on initial teacher education qualification. That is the qualification you received to enable you to be qualified to teach here in South Africa. Okay, then you must look for the qualification type. So you can just click here on the search button. You'll get a drop down menu and then you select what teaching qualification you have. Now let's assume you have the senior primary school teacher's diploma, and then once you click on that, then that will populate in the box. Okay, then you must look for the areas of specialization, and again you get a drop down menu and you make a selection of the subjects that were your majors when you completed your qualification. Okay, then you'll have to indicate the year obtained, and you must indicate whether your qualification has been validated, and then you just follow the other prompts and say submit. Now in my case, I'm going to submit and it's going to tell me that I have quite a few fields not completed. So I'm just going to cancel because I'm just showing you what you are supposed to do. When you get to the next tab, it says PDP detail. This is where you upload your professional development plan. Now this part is very important, guys. This is where you're going to indicate your areas of areas for development, and you're also going to indicate what your roles and responsibilities are, and so forth. So let's go into roles and responsibilities quickly. You'll see I populated this quite a while back. I just put the 2017 and I said principal, and now I have to create roles and responsibilities. You'll notice that once you put in your position, your rank, whether you're a teacher, deputy principal, department head, or whatever other position you have, then that block will be populated. When you get to my roles and responsibilities, you'll find that that area is also pre-populated because we all have a job description depending on the teacher position we have or the teacher rank we have, right? So you'll find that if you have principal, then all the principal's roles and responsibilities will be populated there. If you were a teacher, then all the roles and responsibilities of a teacher according to the job description in the PAM will be populated there. So you don't have to populate anything over there. What you do need to do is you have to populate this area here, other roles and responsibilities, and here you will indicate if you have additional roles that you perform or that you fill at your school. Now let's say as a teacher you have an additional responsibility as serving on the finance committee, then this is where you will place that. Serving on finance committee, if you're in charge of a particular sport or a cultural activity, then you also add it here. So you'll just add all the other roles and responsibilities that you have, and then you have to indicate the people that you have to communicate with. Here you must make a choice. Let's say you must report to the circuit manager if you're a principal. So you will choose circuit manager, and then you have to indicate your goals for the year. And let's say you want to improve my financial management skills, then I'll place that here. So you know which goals you have, and then you just populate it in the spaces provided. Of course, here you'll choose the year. Now we're in 2020, so you'll choose 2020, and then you say submit, and off you go. Right? So you'll just go to the next tab, and you will just continue, following the sequence on your menu bar here. Reports. This is when you want to generate a professional development plan for yourself. Now this is very useful. You may want to have a copy which you will put on file, either in your school official file and one for your personal file. So whenever you populate, your information and you want a printed copy, then you can just generate a printed copy here from the CPTD website. There we've already covered the query that you want to. If you have a query, then you can log the query online and SACE will respond. The documents, the next tab is the documents. Like I said, when we went and we saw all the documents that are uploaded on the CPTD-IS Portal, you can actually download those documents for yourself. And if you need to upload any documents for SACE, then you can also upload the documents by activating this tab. Right, we already spoke about all the courses that you can do online. That is also on the site. And let me just go back. Your profile, that is very good to know, because let's say I think our default was when we registered that our password was just our surname. Now perhaps you want to modify your password, you want to change your password, and this is where you change your password. Okay, you can only change your password here if you are able to log in. If you are struggling to log in because you forgot your details, you first have to get SACE to reactivate your account, and then if you want to change your password, then you can change your password over here. Okay, then of course we have the log out button on that side. So that is basically it. Let me just go back to, so I've explained all that. I just want to go to educator, and you'll see this drop down menu here, right? So I just spoke to the first three. So here we have record your points. Now this is the field that you probably are going to need the most, because this is where you're going to log the actual activity that you have done. Now let's say, because you're only logging your teacher initiated activities, you will always choose teacher initiated. If you are the coordinator, now it's not even going to allow you to choose anything else. So teacher initiated, because you have logged in as a teacher or as a principal. If you log in as the school, if you are the CPTD coordinator, then you will enter the school's EMIS number and the password that you have chosen, and so you will see there it will be school initiated. Okay, but for all of us, most of us, it will be teacher initiated. Then the activity, whatever activity you engaged in, you can search it here from a drop down menu that SACE provides. So we just click search, and you'll find that you've got a whole schedule here of the different types of activities. Okay, so you will look through this activity and see where you can find an activity name that you can use to categorize the activity that you've participated in. You'll see the number of days, and you'll also see the type 1, which means teacher initiated, and you'll see the point schedule, the points that have been allocated to the particular activity. 10 to 31 days if you completed a self-funded short course, and then you'll earn 15 points. Now let's say you did such a course, so you'll click on that one, and you'll see that it will pre-populate that selected activity. It will say what date you have done the activity. If that's not the date, here is a pop-up menu, a calendar, so you can then check the date. Let's say you did it in January already, then you can go and change the date and say you did it on January the 4th, and the date will change there for you. Okay, and then briefly here you'll just describe what short course you've done, and what were the main the foci of that particular course. So let's say you did a short course, and then you just describe briefly, and you'll just say leadership course, modules on self-development, but what do we call it? Emotional intelligence. I'm just thinking of the top of my head here. Intelligence, and the difference between leadership and management. Okay, so you just put down leadership and management, and you'll see that it describe what was done to earn the activity points, and you can mention there that you had to do had to complete an assignment, complete an assignment and a practical module. Okay, that just explains what you did and why that course qualifies for 15 points. Then you submit, and once you submit, you'll get that message which says attendance record captured. Now you may proceed. Now let's say that is what you do every time when you want to record your points. You just go in there, choose the activity, you'll search for the activity, and like I said, you will find if it's not listed here, then you look for a category where the activity that you have completed can fit in terms of the description of the activity and the duration of that particular professional development activity that you participated in. Right? So you'll make your selection and then you complete as we just mentioned. Now let's say you want to see your points account, you want to see what activities you've done, and you can see there that it will give you the point summary and you'll see exactly when you participated and what's the title of the name of the activity, and of course how many points you've scored. Okay, I think that's self-explanatory. And then completed activities, your completed activities, you can then also see a summary of all the activities that you have done over the 3-year period, and you get a log of all the activities that you've done. And then the last tab on this drop down menu is all endorsed activities available to you. Alright, so I showed you how you can use that drop down menu to have access to all the kinds of activities. Okay, so that is pretty straightforward. I've explained the PDP. If you get to the PDP related, you will have to indicate your teacher listed needs, PDP related plans. Those are the plans, the courses that you would like to do, and so you will create all your professional development activities that you would like to do, and then you will give a time frame when you would like to do that. And so this program also helps you to keep yourself accountable in terms of your targets and your target dates.